or afternoon or evening, whenever you're watching this. All right, I know this is awkward. We are gonna get started. We're gonna do a little grounding practice, and I hope you enjoy it. Try to keep it about 30 minutes. We'll see how it goes. Find your breath. Begin to deepen your breath. And feel the earth and the parts of the body that are touching it settle down. Set your spine tall. We'll pause here for a couple of breaths. Extend your exhales out longer than your inhales. Maybe even sigh it out, especially if you're at home alone. No worries. It's always hard to do that when you're in a public class, when you're not used to it, but try it a few times next time you're out in public and see how it changes your practice. Okay, I'll stop talking. 2 more big breaths. Let's bring our hands to our heart and return to a natural breath. Open your eyes if they're still closed, and tell your body it's time to move. We'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, wide. Inhale, reach forward. Scoop up any energy you need. Come back to your heart. 1 more. Inhale, reach up. Left hand down to the mat. We'll side bend here. Maybe gaze up to the ceiling. Keep both sit bones pressed down into the ground. Inhale, reach up. Right hand to the mat. Side bend here. Maybe flip the palm, press towards the wall. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to one side. Hand comes down to opposite knee. Your back hand is behind you. Keep your chin over your chest. Inhale your spine tall. Then maybe those back fingers walk this twist a little deeper. Then you can turn your head to gaze over your back shoulder. Exhale, come forward. I like to roll my shoulders here. We'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Maybe a little side bend. Or not side bend. Little side sways. See how that feels in your hips. Inhale, rise up and reach. Exhale, twist the opposite way. Hands come down. Once again, chin stays over your chest. Maybe you walk your fingers back a bit. Then gaze over your back shoulder. 1 breath here. Maybe 1 more. Exhale, come forward. Little shoulder rolls. Let's bring our hands to our knees. Sit your sit bones down into the earth. Sufi rolls or Sufi circles. Just rotate nice and big in one direction and the other. Return to center. Plant your hands behind you. Plant your feet down. Tick-tock your knees side to side. And then plant your feet down. Fingers point towards your body or out to the side. Shoulder blades pull together. Lift your chest. Look up. You can stay here in what a friend of mine calls sunbather pose. Or you can plant your feet down. Use your glute muscles. Lift your hips for a table, reverse table. If it's comfy, you can drop your head back or keep chin to chest. Big breaths here. Big shoulder stretch. And then maybe lift up a bit higher and then slowly lower on your exhale. Tick-tock knees side to side, and then make your way in your own time. Be mindful of your transitions to a tabletop. So come on over, hands and knees, and find the movements that you like here. Tip your tailbone up, drop your belly, gaze comes forward for cow pose. Exhale, tailbone comes down, arch your spine, drop your head. Maybe you stay with these traditional cat and cow movements. Maybe you find a neutral spine, gaze back towards your back foot on one side for little side bends. Maybe you rotate your hips. Just ask your body what it needs, what it wants. Two more breaths here. Forget what I'm doing. Take your right foot to the back of the mat. Tuck your toes, press the heel. Lift your leg. Hips are level. Left arm reaches forward. Opposite arm. Really be grounded with the hand that's on the mat and the shin. Maybe you stay here, work on balance, gaze is down at the mat. Maybe you bend your knee, bend your elbow out to the side, 90-degree angle. Press back out long. How about one more of those? Hand comes down, knee comes down. Little stretch in your spine. We'll take that to the other side. Left foot reaches back. Tuck your toes, press the heel. Lift the leg. Right arm reaches forward. Sunbird pose, bird dog. It has a Sanskrit name, but I can't think of it right now. Really press the earth away. Be nice and grounded. Maybe stay here or bend elbow, bend knee. Reach out long. One more. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Little cat and cow. Let's come down to our bellies. So walk your hands forward. We're not coming to our bellies. What are we coming to? Low plank. So come down to forearms. Take one foot back and the other. Pause here for 3 breaths. Maybe you rock forward and back on your toes, side to side on your toes and hips. When you're ready, which I was a long time ago, lower your knees, lower your hips. Reach your hand, bring your hands by your chest. Forehead to the mat. Elbows pull in together. Plant your toenails down, your hip bones down. Use your upper back muscles. Draw your nose towards the top of the mat, but keep your gaze at the top of the mat. So spine is long. All right. On an inhale, lift for a cobra. Elbows pull together, shoulder blades together. Use your glute muscles on this one. Exhale, lower. Loosen those bum muscles. 2 more. Inhale. Let's lift this one nice and low. Maybe palms lift off the ground. Full breath here. Exhale, lower. One more, you choose. Maybe you're high. Exhale, lower. Bend your knees. Tick-tock, side to side. Press up through table. No, press up to table. Come back to child's pose. Arms stay long, elbows off the mat. And then back to table. Plant your left hand down, reach out and up with the right. So a twist in the spine, spine is long. Exhale, reach that right arm behind left. Reach to the far side of the room. Inhale, up. We'll do that 2 more times, and on the last one, we'll stay. Inhale, up. Exhale, thread it through. Set that right shoulder down, right cheek. Left arm reaches to the top of the mat, or maybe rests on your low back. Stay right there. Find some big breaths. So this is a big stretch in your rhomboid muscle, the upper back, the upper shoulder blade area. When we hunch over our phones and our laptops, that's what we hunker down with. So we need to stretch that out. On your next inhale, bring your left hand back by your face. Press into the ground, reach up. Take that to the other side. So plant right hand down. Maybe you shift your knees side to side. You can always put a blanket under your knees. Fold your mat over. We'll reach up with the left. Thread it through. Reach, reach, reach. 2 more. Last one. We're going to stay and settle down. Right arm reaches to the top of the mat or your low back. Couple breaths here. On your next inhale, bring that right hand back by your face. Press into the mat, find another twist in your spine. Hand comes down. Fingers are spread wide. Take one foot back and the other. Find yourself in a plank, but eventually we're going to make our way up to down dog. So when you're ready, bend your knees deep, press your hips back. Take your tailbone to the sky. Reach your heels to the back of the room. Press the mat away so your shoulder blades are out and around. And then really pull your low belly in. Take your tailbone up, not your tailbone, your sit bones up towards the ceiling, but make sure your back's not hunching in, your bum's not sticking out. Pull your low belly in, press the mat away. And then when you're ready, bend your knees deep, look to the top of the mat, take those little steps to your forward fold. If you have blocks, sometimes those are nice. Using blocks in a forward fold makes me think of easy Sunday morning yoga. So if that's what you're looking for, find the tools that you need to do that, to get that feeling. Maybe you want to build strength. You wrap your arms behind your legs, drop your head. Knees can always stay bent. On an inhale, let's release what we're holding on to. Hands to shins or thighs. Long, flat back. There we go. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to your heart. Find your mountain pose at the top of the mat. Stand nice and tall. Maybe you get the pelvic tilts going. See if you can find the neutral spine that works for you. And we're going to find a little flow. Let's inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, right foot steps back, ball of the foot. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps back. Come to down dog and maybe stay here. Maybe you lower your knees to table or child's pose. Or maybe you flow. But in the next breath, 2 or 3 breaths, we'll meet in down dog. So in these salutations, these vinyasas, these flows, you choose what you want to do. It might be time for a break. It might be time for this little vinyasa flow. And that's in anybody's class. Do what you want to do. When you're ready, right leg lifts, step to the top of the mat. Left foot comes to meet it. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, left foot steps back. Ball of the foot, nice and stable, grounded here on the floor. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot steps back, down dog. Pick your poison here. Rest or flow will meet in down dog. So flowing, you bring your shoulders out over your wrists. Maybe you lower your knees, but just don't flop to your belly. Maybe lower knees. Elbows bend nice and slow. Inhale, lift for cobra. Exhale, lower. We'll meet back in down dog. Left foot lifts. Exhale, step it to the top of the mat. Right foot comes to meet it. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to heart or hands to your side. Find your mountain pose at the top of the mat. Notice your breath. And if you have a block or a stack of books, it might be nice. Put one at the top of the mat, one at the other, or move it. We're going to do half moon pose. If you have a wall, walls are nice because we can use it to support us. You can always put a foot on the wall if you don't have that big of a space. Oh, I forgot, half moon, yes. So, bear with me. I just decided that's what we're gonna do, so. Find your mountain, calm your breath, and let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose. On your next exhale, hands to your hips, right foot steps to the back of the mat. Warrior two, so your back front heel is lined up with your back foot. Add your arms, gaze over your front fingers. On an inhale, flip your front palm, reach it up. Back hand comes to your back leg or behind your back. Don't lose your lunge, it's easy to do. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, imagine someone's pulling you with a rope. You can stick your back hip out. And then left hand comes down, maybe to a block. Right arm reaches up. Triangle pose. On an exhale, top hand to your hip. Little bend in your front knee, rise up. If you know half moon pose and love it, come on into that. Really keep reaching that top leg behind you. Use a block or a stack of books at the top of your mat. If you're like, half moon what? Let me show you how to get into it. So we just came out of triangle. I like to step my back foot in and then find a little rock. I know, this is silly, but feels good. And then when you're ready, we're gonna lean forward. Bring left hand to the block as right leg lifts. Our hips and our chest are open to the side, just like in triangle pose in warrior two. Maybe right hand stays right here on the hip. Keep reaching this right heel behind you. Maybe right arm reaches to the sky. Gaze is straight forward. It can always be on the floor. Maybe it looks up. And then when you're ready, top hip, hand comes to your hip. Little bend to your knee. Step to the back of the mat. Turn to the long side of the mat. We'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Little bend to each knee. Maybe your head drops, hand comes back. Hands come between your feet, drop your head. And also, if something feels nice and you're watching this at home and you want to stay there, pause the video, stay there, take a few breaths. So when you're ready, bring your hands back to the long edge of the mat. A little bend to your knees will rise up. Keep left foot, what used to be your front foot, turn to the side, turn right toes towards the other end of your mat. Bend your knee. Warrior two, once more, facing the other side of your mat. One more big breath here. And then keep that lunge. Adjust your back foot if you need to. Flip your front palm. Reach up. Exalted warrior. Exhale back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Exhale, reach forward. Right hand comes down to a block or the floor or gently, lightly on your shin. Gaze up to that top thumb. You can always gaze at the floor. Notice how much this front foot is working. It's working a lot. And in half moon, it will work more. There's lots of bones and muscles. We need to keep our feet strong. All right, top hand comes to your hip. Little bend in your front knee, rise up. Half moon pose is next. If you know it and love it, find it. If not, step your back foot in. Find that little rock. And then weight comes into front foot. Back foot lifts. Right hand comes to the block. Open your chest and hip to the side. Keep that back foot lifting and pressing. But using the block is not cheating. It's helping you build that strength. Maybe your top arm reaches. Maybe you lift your fingers off the block, or maybe they stay there. Gaze can go up. And then when you're ready, which I am, top hand comes to your hip. Set that back foot down. Turn to the long side of the mat. Turn toes out to the side. So toes point to the top corners of your mat. We'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, elbows bend, bend your knees. Goddess pose. Maybe a little sway side to side. Maybe you drop your hips a bit more. Make sure your knees are not dumping in too much. On an inhale, let's reach up. Hands to your hips, heel, toe, those feet together. Step together. I'm trying to find something. All right, I think I have it. No. Oh, well. So let's play with a little balance. If you're on something squishy, maybe you step onto something harder. Maybe you have a wall nearby, but we're gonna do tree pose. So in a grounding practice, what do we want? What do trees have going into the earth? They have our roots. They have their roots. So rock forward and back, side to side. Press your feet down into the earth. Weight comes into your right foot. Lift your left knee. Open the hip to the side and find the version of tree pose that works for you. Press that foot into your shin. Shin into the foot. Did you see how I lifted up? Straighten this standing leg. Equal pressure. Know that toes can be on the mat, heel on your ankle. If you have really strong knees, you can put your foot on your knee, but make sure you're using that equal pressure. Hands can come to heart. Hips open up for branches, and it might be windy where your tree is. Find something on the floor that you can gaze at. Feel the roots growing into the earth. Stand up tall. Be proud like a tree. I have a poem and I can't think of it. When you're ready, hands to hips or heart. Lift the knee, bring it forward. I like to kick it out. See if you can hold it there for a moment. Set the foot down. Shake out the standing leg. That's what was working. Take it to the other side. Left foot presses down into the earth. Feel the roots grow. Right knee lifts, open to the side. Plant your foot. Find something to gaze at that's not moving. Add different arms. Play around. But once again, ankle, leg, or heel, no, foot and leg. Press, press, press. If you fall out like I just did, find it again. Stay right here. And then when you're ready to come out, arms come down, lift the knee, bring it forward, kick that foot out. Exhale, set it down. Let's come to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise up. Take your feet wide. Exhale, fold. Another little flow here. Just bend one knee and the other. Wiggle into this. Exhale, drop your head. Inhale, little halfway lift. Take one foot back on the other. Down dog. Maybe you flow. Maybe you just come to a seat. But eventually we'll all meet in a seat. So bring those feet out in front of you. Tick-tock side to side. Knees can be bent. Maybe they're straight. We're gonna sit up tall, Dandasana, staff pose. Very grounding, very settling, but everything is working. I know I'm just sitting here, but we are working. So toes pull in towards your nose or your knees. Hands by your side, right by your hips. Press the sit bones down into the earth. Sit your spine tall, shoulder blades pull together. Gaze is just past the tops of your toes. Two more breaths here. On an inhale, let's release out of that and reach your arms overhead. Little bend to your knees. Exhale, fold. So your belly is on your thighs. Maybe your legs can come a little bit straighter. Maybe you put a pillow or a blanket under your knees. Maybe you take your feet a little wider, make space for your belly. Reach those hands a bit more, and then inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold a bit deeper. Bring your belly closer to your thighs. And then on an inhale, walk your hands back up. Bend your knees, plant your feet, tick-tock side to side. Make your way down to your back. So if you want a little more strength, maybe you grab a boat to get to your back. Maybe you are ready to relax. Come on down. Tick-tock knees side to side. Plant your feet. Hands come down by your side. Turn your toes out a little wide if bridge pose makes your knees hurt. But keep those knees together. If you have a block or a book, put a block between your knees. Press your feet into the ground, lift your hips, walk your shoulder blades in, clasp your hands behind your back. Maybe you hold on to the edges of your mat, but use your bum muscles, use your thigh muscles, lift your hips. Two more big breaths here. Inhale, lift your hips a tiny bit more. Exhale, lower down. Remove the block. Take your knees side to side. And then stay right here. Lift your hips. Take them over to the left side of the mat. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Drop your knees to the right. So, knees come to the floor. Nice and resting here. Releasing and relaxing. If you want a block between your knees, or if you need a block or a pillow under your knees, get one. Just find some release here. So many times people are hanging on for dear life. They're like this, and I just want to go over and push their legs down, but that might not work for your back, and that's fine. So use a pillow. Release. Rest. Arms can reach out wide. If you want to get your neck into this, lift your head, move it to the right, turn your gaze to the left. So now your spine is twisted. Low back, mid back, neck. 2 more breaths here. Okay, maybe 3. And then on your next inhale, remove any props. Bring your knees to center. Press your feet into the earth. Take your hips over to the right side of the mat. Draw your knees in. Drop knees to the left. Lift your head, move it to the left a little bit, then turn your gaze to the right. Once again, find some rest, some relax, maybe a pillow on top of those stacked legs, or your left hand to your legs. Give that hip a little massage. Let's take 3 big breaths here. On your next inhale, bring your knees back to center. Find the last few poses that you like here at the end of practice. Maybe happy baby. Maybe legs up the wall. Viparita Karani. Karamo. He's on Queer Eye. Sorry, the things in my head just come out sometimes. Play here for a few breaths. And then eventually make your way to your Shavasana. I am going to say goodbye here. That way you can get into your Shavasana pose. You can stay as long as you want, as long as you need. Know that I thank you. Hopefully this helps get a little more movement into your day. Thank you so much for sharing your practice. Until next time.